Have you ever thought that in any second, that aquarium that you worked so hard to put together and that you're so proud of can literally be destroyed in an instant just due to simple negligence that you may not even be aware of? What's going on, my friends? My name is Anthony from Unconventional Aquatics, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing heater failure. Heater failure is something that can literally devastate you and make or break whether you stay in this hobby. All right, guys, so as always, I'm going to start this video off with an example. At the end of this video, I also have a question for you that I would really like you to respond to because it could potentially help out a lot of your fellow hobbyists or people thinking about getting into this hobby. And as always, if you enjoy this video, please leave it a thumbs up and do me a solid. So let's head on into the fish room right through this door here. So everyone, the example we're using actually happened in this tank right here. Now this tank just houses some of my tropical fish that are actually leaving soon along with this entire tank. But if you remember, prior to this, I used this as a grow out system. Prior to that, I had a Venustus breeding group in here. Well, something I neglected, or should I say relied on a little bit too much at that time, was that gadget there that may be ever so familiar to you no matter what level you are in this hobby, which is a simple aquarium heater. No matter how long you've been in this hobby, I hope and pray that you never have to deal with heater failure, but with anything else that's mechanical or electrical, it is prone to failure without warning. Now there's some things we can do to completely eliminate this, and this is going to depend on your budget and involvement in the hobby. Let's start out with the easiest solution to preventing, or not preventing, but managing heater failure to where you don't lose all of your fish. Hopefully you're around. How we do that is with the utilization of, and here's where all my seasoned hobbyists go, heater controllers. Heater controllers are great. Heater controllers are something that I did not use for a very long time because I honestly didn't want to spend the money on it. I'd have rather bought fish with it. But after I had heater failure in that aquarium, and luckily for me, the type of failure I had, the heater just shut down. So my water got colder rather than the heater breaking and skyrocketing like a lot do, which literally boil your fish alive. Many of the people watching this video have had extreme heater failure before. That's a terrible instance, and I feel so bad for you guys that had to deal with that. And I'm so grateful that mine didn't go that way and I was able to save my fish. But heater failure is something that you need to be prepared for, and there's some different things that we can do to prevent it or to mitigate it from happening. While heater controllers are an excellent piece of equipment, I'm a firm believer in knowing and practicing the basics. So what should we be doing on a daily routine to ensure that everything is good within our aquarium? Should I check the tanks? Nah, they're fine. Wrong, Anthony, wrong. It's as simple as making your rounds, checking on your individual fish, and checking that temperature gauge right there. Even if you do have a heater controller, which a lot of people don't. So make sure you're checking your temperature. Think back to when you first set up that aquarium and how paranoid you were, looking at everything, constantly checking everything. I mean, maybe you weren't like that, but I guarantee you most people probably were. Those habits are really good to keep to an extent, maybe not checking it every 10 minutes, but at least once a day, have some sort of routine with your aquariums, whether your aquariums are technologically advanced or not. You know, a lot of times, once you get into that zone where you have all this technology on your aquariums, you tend to become negligent. Not everybody, but a lot of people like myself, and at times I got to keep myself in check and remember that again, we're relying on a component to keep our aquarium safe, and that could fail at any time too. So one thing I do every single morning is a once over of all my fish in all my aquariums, and I also check the individual temperatures. I prefer to use a digital display like this. These are very cheap. You can get like 4 of them on Amazon for 10 bucks. I calibrate it with another thermometer just to make sure it is reading correctly, and I have these on all of my aquarium. Even if you don't run a heater in your aquariums, you should have some sort of temperature device. Another way you can tell if something is not quite right in your aquarium is remember that fish, in a sense, act like a lot like a human being. When something is wrong, we don't quite act right. Same with the fish. That's how I knew when I had heater failure in that one aquarium that I had heater failure in the first place. I had no temperature gauge on the tank whatsoever. I relied on the heater, but my fish were gone. They buried themselves under the sand. And that was my first indicator that something had to be done. So guys, the point I'm trying to make is just develop those good habits and make sure you're doing some kind of routine check, because even if you don't run something as such as a heater controller and you just have a heater with a temperature telling device, you could potentially catch something early if you walk by in the morning and notice that your temperature is 2 degrees off from where it normally is. That's a good indicator that something might be going on in your aquarium that you don't even know about. So do those routine checks. It's back to the basics, guys, but these basic principles are literally they're gonna keep you in the right mindset, and it's gonna help you overall understand your aquarium and just looking out for your fish, just like you would check your doors at night to make sure they're locked to keep your house safe. Keep their house safe since you put all that time and money into it, and do your routine checks. So guys, I hope you took something away from this video. I greatly appreciate you watching. If you don't have aquariums yet and you're getting into them, just remember this video with a guy with a weird beard saying, develop good routines. Trust me, it'll go a long way. So I have a question for you. What are your guys' daily routines when it comes to your aquariums? Remember, be detailed as you want. A lot of people read the comments, and a lot of times most of the learning happens actually in the comments from being able to see everybody else's standpoint on it. So I encourage you to leave some feedback down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And again, guys, I appreciate you guys taking time to watch this, and leave it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you then.